Nice to meet you, Mohamed. I am Mehdi, the editor of Film Fest Report, and I am with Mohamed El Aboudi, the Moroccan director of a film called The School of Hope, which is a very, very beautiful documentary that is shot in Morocco in a very specific context where a nomad tribe is actually struggling with drought, and they are also dealing with the fact that their kids still need to get an education. And so the film revolves around those topics and is profoundly touching and powerful. So I'm very happy to be with you and to have a chat with you, Mohamed.
Thank you.
Can you please just very quickly introduce yourself as a filmmaker? Can you tell us a little bit? I know that you've been traveling the world, and can you just give us a sense of what type of filmmaker are you?
As you mentioned before, my name is Mohamed El Aboudi. Born in Morocco, finished my first degrees. The University of Fest was about semiology and theater and films, and then after that, I went to Australia to make my master film and television, which I did finish there. And after that, I came back to Finland. So immediately, actually, when I came to Finland, I started to work in Wiley, Finnish broadcasting company. At that time, I was working actually mainly about cultural programs. I was always interested about cultural programs. And after that, I actually started to work as a freelancer. So now it was now about more than 10 years working as freelancers. So my main things and which I'm really interested about is human rights, is more or less about kids, about climate change and justice in the world. If we can talk about like justice, if we can, start to talk about small things. Of course, you can't change anything, but anyway, you can at least give voice to the voiceless people or some stuff like that. That was in general what is my interest of films.
That's wonderful, and I think it's very interesting that with such a diverse background, you keep going back to Morocco and to actually make films there. Just before we dig into the School of Hope, can you tell us a little bit how the way you look at Morocco, your home country, has been evolving through time and through your experiences?
I think it is. I think it is interesting. It's even when you are as an artist, when you are painting, I think the best way to do it is to paint something and get back, to go far further from your painting, and then you can look at it. And sometimes even you turn the painting to look at the whole harmony, the composition, the colors, did they fit or not? And for me as an artist, when I get out from Morocco, I start to look at, I have created a new point of view to Morocco. So I'm not anymore the same person who can see things like straightforward. I could see it from different angles. And that's what's perhaps, pushed me to work in a certain way and to look at Morocco today in a certain way. Perhaps the other people, even Moroccans who lives in Morocco, they could see it the same. Perhaps, I don't know. But for me, it is really like I look at things differently and deeply, perhaps. And I can really see things. I could really, for example, in my previous film, not this one, before when I finished it, when I was trying to film it, there was one guy, he was even a professor in French language, and they gave it to him to read the text, and he said to me, "Oh, really? Is that really what you are making? This is the film you are making?" Yes. And he, "Oh, great. I have never thought about it." So it was just like different, perspective, different angle to things. Perhaps sometimes create a subject. It could create even a very specific and very interesting subject.
This is so interesting. So let's talk specifically about the School of Hope, which is your last documentary, your latest documentary. And so the School of Hope is actually the name of this school in the desert in Morocco. And it's kind of a surreal situation. It's kind of school that I didn't go to, and most people didn't go to. And so it's a school in the desert that is gathering kids from all ages, apparently, and they gather in this school. They have sometimes to walk 10 to 12 kilometers to get there and to get an education. So, and what we can see on screen is that this school, this location, this place is very different from anything else that they know. You know, can you tell us a little bit about how you felt when spending time in this school, in this particular school, for the film?
I think I can't describe the feeling. I think you should be there. I mean, to really feel what I felt at that moment when I meet a friend of mine who really, I met him even by accident. We were studying in the university, I think some 40 years or some, no, not 40, but some 30 years ago. And he noticed that I'm looking actually for a subject which is really about education in Morocco and stuff like that, and especially with these remote places. And then he said to me, well, I will take you to my tribe. And he's also, a son of nomads, but he was lucky to get out from this area, and he wanted to study with his brother in Montesa, and then he came back to live with his tribe. Then he took me to that place, and then we came there, and then I just, it was really summer. It was really hot. I think it was, at that day, I think it was really some 45 degrees. And then we have this kind of small car, because we didn't notice, we didn't even imagine that we could end up to that desert like that. And he says, that is the school. And it was like some kind of 3 kilometers far away, because it is really flat. You can see far away. And it was just like spot. And he says, where is the school? He says to me, that spot in the middle of nowhere. And then he said, that's school. He said, yes. Oh, no. So what are the people? What are they? And he said to me, then, people that came around here, 10 kilometers, 8 kilometers, 12 kilometers, it depends. And then I was just saying, oh my God, is that really a school? Could this be really, or he joking? So we continue with the car. We came to that place, and it was written there, really, School of Hope in Arabic, but it was like, it's really, you can't read it. It was just like gone with sun and cold, and perhaps sometimes some water and snow and stuff like that. And then I said, oh my God, yes. Okay. And then immediately I saw the ingredients of film. And then immediately I said, is there any students here and teacher? Listen, teachers, normally when they come here, they stay here for a month, 2. Some of them, they spend only 2 days and they run away. But next year, we're going to have a new teacher, hopefully. And the kids, they are waiting for that. They are really happy to come to the school. So for me, it was just like, first I say, it is like unbelievable. It can't be a school, but then it is a school. And nomads, they need something like that, and they need anyway school, whatever. Because before they have only tents. They could have small tents there, and they could study. Now they build this kind of room, and then they make it a school. But it was fantastic. It was really very, very strong feeling. But the only worry what I have, I said, how I'm going to make a film about this one? I don't have people, everybody's, far away from school. With 10 kilometers, teacher could come and live in, as he said, in a month or 2 or 2 days. So can I gather those elements for making a film, or it is just like an adventure? I was thinking about it twice. I want even to see something else, another school, but then I return back and say, no, this is the school I'm going to make a film. I don't care. This is the spot. So that's how it was. But it was really strong connection between me and the school, and also the area, because I felt so pure, very nice. The smell, the calm. You can even hear in some, I think it's some 30, 40 kilometers, you can hear the sound, you can see far. And then you say, oh my God, that's fantastic place. So it starts like this kind of, love from the beginning. Yes.
That's wonderful. You were talking about the ingredients of the film, and I think they are very well put together. And one of those ingredients are the families. The parents of the kids that go to school, and you capture you manage to capture the dilemma that they have. And you have in the film those kind of conversations where the parents are telling their kids, you cannot really go to school because we have no choice. We need you to stay with us and to help us work with the sheep and everything. And the kids say, I want to learn, I want to go to school. And so this is a strong dilemma also because the families are really struggling because of the drought, because of the climate change and everything. Like, I'm sure you knew of their situation before going there and meeting with them, but did you actually realize how hard life was for them?
I didn't know really much about their life. I really knew only, a little bit of things about nomad life, but I knew about normal nomad life. I mean, they travel from south to north, and they're looking for water, and they could really stay for a while during the spring, but then the end of summer they start to get back. But I didn't know really these kind of tough of life which they have. The first day when I met this guy, we went to see the school. Of course, we were invited to his cousin, which is he's going to be in the film with his son, the one who traveling with his son on the donkey. That guy is he's really a character because we spend with him nights, and he really this kind of big heart, tough life, big heart, and then sense of humor. Sense of humor was amazing. I mean, the guys, they are happy, they share with you everything, they laugh, and then when they start to talk about serious things, oh no, is this really the way how you live? They don't have water, they can't drink proper water. They don't have, for example, fruit. They don't have, vegetables because they don't have fridges. They don't have lights. They don't have electricity. They don't have connection for phone. They don't have hospitals. They don't have. He was telling me a story. They said to me that even his wife, if she is pregnant, she wants to give birth. He has one truck which doesn't have brakes, doesn't have anything from 50s. He says to me, if I took my wife in the truck to take her to the hospital, which is about 200 kilometers, if the police, they stop me, they took me, my wife, and my truck. We would go, all of us. That means, just good luck. And this sometimes to me, either the baby is going to born, and he's going to survive, he's going to survive. It doesn't survive, that's it. That's how it goes. I mean, they don't have the minimum of how could say that's horrible. I mean, the minimum things to say you are human to survive in the 21st century. They don't have it, but still they're happy. They believe in future. They believe that one day they could make it, and then they start to work on. Okay, now the only ones who left is our kids. Let's educate our kids because we can't go we can't move to towns without education. We are not educated. Our kids, they are not educated. We don't have money. We don't have any special like some kind of jobs they can do. They don't know how to do anything. The only things that they know is to take care of herds in the deserts. That's all what they know. So, I mean, I knew something, but not all that. I mean, even the first time when I say I could even live here in this area, which is the nature was great. Smell the pure, the everything is natural. But then you stay there for 1 day, 2 days, and say, no, I should go. So it was for me. I was amazed about how they managed to survive there, and it has been now for 15 years, more than 15 years, without water, without lambs, their herds, and to buy food and water and stuff like that.
This is very, very powerful. And there is something that is beautiful in the film is this contrast between how hard their lives are and the beauty of the place, the amazing
Yes.
beauty of the place. And you shoot a lot at golden hours as well. And I was wondering if we could maybe see there a kind of a metaphor for, like you are filming the sunset of a way of life in the end. Do you think we can see it this way?
I don't know if it is. I don't know if you can say it like that, but for me it was. For me, from the beginning, I want to make a film about this life of nomads, but also I want to have as a main character, also not the main character. One of the characters is the nature, is the space. And the space, I wanted to film it in different times, of course, in the winter, in summer, midday, morning, evening, and because I was really like I was so astonished about this the you know the nature and space, how it is, and the beauty of space, but also the harshness of that nature. Nature is very harsh, very there is a drought, there is sun, there is but still it's beautiful, it's clean, it's this kind of balance. It's in somehow it is balancing in somehow. In the nature need to find some kind of balance, and that's why I find it there. This kind of balance between beauty and harshness, and then those people, they are in the middle, between the harshness of the nature, and also, which we forget, is the government, the unjust government, who doesn't want to build for those people proper schools, to make them roads, to dig for them some kind of ditches or wells. No one cares. They just leave them by themselves in there. But they didn't stay, say, okay, we will wait for God to give us. No, they start to do things themselves. They create schools. They want to find some teachers who are just graduated. They come there to help them. They are trying to find the water in somehow. They complain. They do a lot of things. So harshness and beauty, of course, was really the purpose to balance it in the film, not to make it to give more to the harshness, also to the beauty. But anyway, the life of those people, it's like that. So
yeah, and I think this balance is really at the core of the film, and it makes it very, very strong. There is also, like, I'm thinking of one particular scene that to me was that could be also the core of the film, is this beautiful scene where you have this kid that is rehearsing, like trying to write, like he's learning, and then there's an adult next to him. I don't remember if it's his dad or not, and this person has never been to school, and so he's taking his hand and he's teaching him how to write. And I thought this was very beautiful, because also it was dealing with the links, the relationship between generations. And I thought this was, it was probably one of my favorite scenes of the film. Do you want to elaborate on that, or?
Yes, I think. This guy. For me, I wasn't actually planning to have that scene. I was planning to follow teacher to go to, because normally teacher he doesn't have place to stay, so he's just like moving from one house to another house. And that evening, we said, okay, we're going to follow him to a certain house with the kids. And then I asked the teachers, what do you do when you go there? Is there just like you go there, you eat and drink? And no, it's to me, because their parents, they are not educated, so they can't help their kids making their homework. So I'm going to eat, but in the same time, I will help them making their homework. So the situation is win-win. And then he said, "Oh, great! So I will just follow you." So, yeah, of course. And then when they start to make, the father was. I love the shots, which, because they would have the teacher in the back, in the foreground, the kids, and then the father in the back. He's preparing, tea and some bread and stuff like that. And then he would just like watching them. And then suddenly, I asked him, "Have you ever been in school?" And he says to me, "No, of course not. How I'm going to go to school?" And then he said, "Do you know how to write even your name or something?" I said to me, "No." And then his son said to him, "Oh, do you want me?" He was very proud, and for me it was fantastic. "Do you want me to show you how to write your name?" I said, "Yeah, let's do it." And then we did it, and it was really, especially when he grabbed the hand of the father, and then the younger was laughing, because she was just like, "Now it is our time. Normally it's the parents who know everything, but now we know everything. They don't know how to do it." And it was really this kind of magic moment. These kids teaching their father how to write his name. It was fantastic. I didn't have more than that, because the father started to talk to him. He said to him that actually, if I will follow your writing, I will. He said, "If I can't, I'm going to buy you a truck, and for that the area for them, a truck is very important, because the truck, they use it for transporting the herds to somewhere else, and they could make it used as transportation instead of camels and horses. Nowadays there's a truck. So then he starts to talk about something, and we need to cut it there, because they don't want to, to lose this moment of magic between him and his father. But yeah, that's true. This was really fantastic scene.
Absolutely, yeah. I thought it was really magical, and you could see, as you say, the pride of the kids, and it was fantastic. So now I'm wondering if at this point in time, if the film is going to be released or showcased somewhere in Morocco in some ways, and if so, what do you expect Moroccan audiences to take away from the film? Because what we should say also is that a lot of people in Morocco, they don't know of the situation of those people, of those nomad people. They have never met them, they don't have any clue, any idea about how they live and their struggles. So yeah, if the film has a chance to be showcased in some way in Morocco, what do you expect Moroccan audiences to take away from it?
Of course, we have actually a co-producer in Morocco, and of course, the film, I think it will be shown in Morocco, because we got even money from CCM of Morocco. So we were planning with the co-producer, because I have another co-producer from France, from Paris. We were planning actually to go and show the film to the nomads themselves, where we were shooting actually the film, and I think that would be great. About your question, how Moroccans, they will react to that. I think some of the people, they will be surprised about, is it really true that we in Morocco we have still this type of education? Because if you go, for example, in Casablanca or Rabat, I mean, they are normal schools, normal things. Of course, if we think about the system, the way of education in Morocco is really horrible. I mean, the system is very bad. I mean, the way how they teach and the system is not really a proper system for education. There are a lot of things missing really nowadays. But to see people walking 12 kilometers to 8 to 9, and then they have these type of schools, and the teacher is just like, he's not even trained to be a teacher, and to have like three, I think that's all those things, they exist in Morocco a lot. I mean, if you go to countryside, outskirts of big towns, Dahra, this place where I shot, it is a huge area. It is not that small. It's really huge. And there are some of them, they don't have even schools. You can find like, you can even travel for 150 kilometers, 200 kilometers. There is absolutely no schools. But if you show it to big towns, in Casablanca, some of them, they were surprised. Some of them, they would be saying that, really, is that Morocco? Some of people, they will say perhaps, why do you shoot this? Why do you want to show us that? That is not proper one. We are okay. There are different, I don't know really what they will say, how they will take the film, how they will think about the film. But I know that some of the people, they will be shocked. Some of the people, they will be amazed that we are in 21st century and still we have this type of education. But let's see what will happen then.
That's great, and I think I agree with you on that. Maybe my final question. So you're a documentary filmmaker, and we know that you actually have a lot of different roles as a documentary filmmaker. You're meeting people, you're doing research, you're talking with people, you're filming, you're doing a lot of things. So as a documentary filmmaker yourself, can you describe maybe the part of the job that you love the most? Is there any specific part of the process of making a film just like this one that just you enjoy the most?
Well, I think the best is when you are making research, because normally, like with this one, I did really travel the whole Morocco, about Morocco, most of parts of Morocco. you meet a lot of people, you discuss with a lot of people. Sometimes you shoot with some people you don't even make film about them, but you shoot with them. And then the moment when you start to shoot your documentary, especially these type of documentaries, like it will take 4 years, 5 years from your life, and you live with these people. They share with you their lives. They share, it's fantastic. It is. I love the moment of living with people, sharing with them things, and sharing with them their hope, their sufferance, their something which touches them, something which you became like a part of their lives. And then, for example, in this School of Hope, when we were shooting the last each time we go to film, and then we were leaving, the kids they were crying. We said, okay, goodbye. Now we are not, because we were shooting like periodic. We shoot like 12 days, 15 days, and we stay some 5-6 months, 7 months, then we return back. And each time we say to them goodbye, then they start to cry, and it was really tough for me. And then you belong to those people, and you because I always work with people. For example, those kids, I was even teaching them myself. Sometimes teachers said to me, okay, can I try to teach them in my way? My father was a teacher, so I know how to handle kids. So I was really even suggested to him something that he could do. That's because he has never been teaching. He's just coming from the university. So they liked my way, and we were even playing football. We were, playing outside, looking for snakes and doing something which crazy. And so we became part of those people, and you became part of their family. They became like family. And then the worst is when you're leaving, you are never going to see them again. So for them, they stay in contact. They call you. They ask about you and stuff, and then you can. But I can't continue doing that, because there is one day you are going to stop, and you should continue doing something else. So that is wonderful. I mean, this is like experience, richness into life. To experience all that with the real life. It is not really good as a filmmaker, shooting a fiction and isolated in your own settings, and this is really, you live with them, real life. You eat with them, you sleep with them, you drink with them, you share with them, everything. I think that's fantastic. So that is a really richness, and that's for me, at least for me, I just love it. I just great. It is a great experience.
That's brilliant. I think it's the beauty of documentary filmmaking, and that is brilliant and great to hear. So thank you so much for this great conversation. I wish you the best on the film festival circuit. I hope a lot of people are going to get to watch the film. And of course, I wish you the best for your next project.
Thank you very much.